All right. Well, hello everybody. Ching ching. I think I'm live. Am I live? Hello. Yeah. So welcome to the Creative Smartphone Photography Show. Just about half an hour late. My computer was working fine, but with a few jitters about half an hour before the show. So I thought I'll just close it down and start it again. So when I did that, it decided to not start, and I waited, just waiting for it to, that little thing that goes round and round for a few minutes, hours, it seems like. So hello, welcome. If you are watching this, that would be good. It would be good if you told me that you can see me, because I don't even know what's working anymore. Maybe not my brain. My mug today is this one. It doesn't look like a Paris mug, but it's actually a Paris mug because that's a skull with a rose in its teeth, which is from the catacombs. And it says black coffee, black clothes, black magic, black rose, which is obviously pretty cool. And I got it from the catacombs store. The catacombs store, you kind of go in there after you come up from the catacombs. The catacombs is a place where they dumped about 8 million Parisians because they'd been dumping them in a graveyard in the middle of Paris, and there were a few too many of them. And some people's basements, the walls would sort of bulge inwards and then break, and sort of bones and skulls and stuff would come through. So they thought maybe better move these guys somewhere else. So anyway. But I realized that I don't have a Paris Metro mug, which is terrible. And I was lying in my bed this morning, the way you do, and scrolling my phone like the way you shouldn't. And I suddenly saw that there was an event I've been waiting decades for. This was the opportunity to see one of the classic old metro carriages in a Paris station, and it was only today. And nobody else was available, so I went along and I took lots of photographs, and I can show you some. Got a couple of comments, a couple of old faithful people who haven't abandoned me. Nazanin is here. All's well. Hello, Nazanin. Nice to have you here. And she says, you love mugs. How many do you have in your collection? Well, I've got only about 20. But I need a metro mug. I need a train mug. I don't mean one with just like an M on or something. I want a mug with a proper train on, ideally the Paris Metro, but it doesn't matter. It could be any sort of train. So I'm on the lookout for a Paris Metro mug of some sort. Anyway, let me talk about photographs. Oh, Jean. Hello, Jean. Nice to have you here. I'm terribly sorry. I had computer problems. The story is that I was having jitters, so I thought I'd turn my computer off, turn it on again, so that there wouldn't be any problems, but then it decided to not turn on again. Anyway, let me share my screen, and I'm immediately gonna show you what I did today, if I can. So apparently this is live. I wasn't even sure if I had to cancel the show and start again or not. Look at this. These are some self-portraits from the trip that I just went on. Now, this is the carriage, and I tried to do 3. So there's that one, there's this one, and there's this one. So it's me messing around with trains like a little boy. I was going to say the little boy, I let the little boy inside me out, but I've got a feeling it's the adult that has difficulty squeezing in sometimes. And the characteristic of these trains, which I'll show you a better picture in a second. My son, who tragically wasn't available today because he loves trains, he loves these locks that you can just lift up and they make a nice noise and stuff. And this is a classic old one from this train, which is, it stopped its service on the Paris lines 40 years ago. So it's absolute perfect, beautiful history. It's got all the old fittings, the old adverts and everything. And then the other one that in this series shows you it a bit better. This picture has a poster of the train, and strangely enough, the train is behind it, the real one. And you can see that there's a green section. This carriage was the second class. They used to have first and second class in metro carriages. And the one behind it is half green and half red. and the green was the second class. Look, you've even got the Eiffel Tower behind. And the red was first class. Mais oui, monsieur, dame. And look at the legibility of this. This is, it's up above the door. It's all the stations. Amazing. This is the real thing today, Porte Saint-Cloud. And then this, it's a lot more legible these days, but isn't that wonderful? And then the last shot I put in this triptych is this guy. There you can see the real train. It's lovely and shiny. There's an association that looks after it. Did I manage to get a nice triptych? Well, I had very little time, so I really just slammed these together to get something out. But it's my example of, with one subject, trying to take 3 different shots, which hold together because it's the same subject, but are different enough to make it interesting and show you 3 different aspects of the same subject. To be honest, there were lots of other shots as well, especially inside the train, but you can't do everything. Those will surface in due course. And you can even see there's an old advert there. All right, so do say hello again if you've just joined. If you're watching the replay, say hello, of course. I would love to know what you're doing today. Have you been able to take any triptychs? And let's have a look at some of your photographs. Is there anything I need to tell you before that? Don't think so. Not necessarily an easy theme. I put somewhere in a comment a question. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. A few more comments. Okay, I said, how can I take my photography to another level with a simple change of perspective? And what I mean by that is, you might think it means changing the angle, but no, I didn't mean that. It's a question which the answer is this week's theme. Put several photographs together and try and make them hang together and display them together. Display them in a row, 3 in a row, or maybe a triangle, and see what it looks like. So that is basically my kind of sneaky answer to the question. Is this week's theme was supposed to do that. You don't have to change your photography at all. You're actually showing 3 photographs together. Have you thought of doing that before? Well, why not? It makes a really good composition. And 3, it's a bit like, I see it a bit like a Picasso painting, where he tried, just trying to get my screen to do something. Looks like I'm having problems with the connection here. I don't know if you can still hear me. I've frozen on the screen. It's going to come back in a second, but I'll just wait and see if it does. I'll keep on talking in case you can hear me. So it's a bit like a Picasso painting in that he tried to show different aspects or different sides of his subject on the same flat canvas. And that's a bit like what you can do with the triptych. You have 3 photographs together. Hello. Sorry about that. I had a slight problem, and I hope you could still hear me. I was saying that a triptych is a bit like Picasso. You can show different aspects of the same subject. Thanks, Jean. She says I can hear you. The same 3 different aspects of the same subject in a row. So try that. Some of you have been very clever and you've been putting your photographs together beautifully. I didn't manage to do that. I just slammed them together any old how. So let's have a look at some of your photographs, shall we? Nazanin. Oh, Nazanin, you won't believe this. She's showing us peacocks. And oh, I'm so jealous. Let's have a look at your 3. I'm just going to try and get a comment on the 3. 1, 2, 3. There they are. I love that. Oh my goodness. Posing perfectly for you with a stunning tail. Okay, I have to tell you, I went to the Bois de Vincennes. It's the Parc Floral de Paris, the Paris Floral Garden, looking for peacocks. I convinced Beatrice that there were peacocks. She didn't believe me. We went into the park. We walked around for 2 hours looking for peacocks. She still didn't believe me. So we decided to leave. I was very disappointed. As I was approaching the door, there was a peacock. Very unimpressive, not a very big tail, scrabbling around on the ground. Nazanin, beautiful. You've got that. I wonder if you got, it's interesting you didn't show a picture of, there you go. There you go. What am I talking about? I'm kind of jealous. Was there a female around for the male to do that or not? You know, I have to say, it's not a common shot to see its backside when it's doing that. So fantastic, absolutely stunning. Well done. And as I said, I'm jealous. Showing its backside. I didn't even read that when I said that. And seated like a professional mannequin. So this is 𝘚𝘢. And she was on the roof of the Lafayette Galleries. What am I saying? Galerie Lafayette. Basically, it's a department store. There's several department stores in Paris where you can go to the roof and you get a wonderful view. And she tried to be artistic. You know, just because you're up high and there's a nice view, well, you know, this is the Creative Smartphone Photography Group. You should try to do something a little bit special, not just, okay, the view is nice, I'll take a snap. Try to do something. So she's got a reflection here. She's got people doing touristy things or whatever. She's in this one here on the top right. She slammed the Eiffel Tower over to the left. That's the way I describe it. And that's interesting. Interesting to do that because it's not common. You know, you might think you would put it a little bit further towards the middle. And maybe she wanted to get all of this building in here, or maybe she just didn't want to have a classic photograph with the Eiffel Tower in the middle or just a little bit off to the side. And this one in the bottom right looks like it's been taken through a frosted window or something, which, and you can see the Eiffel Tower again. So I'm kind of jealous because my objective in life is to take as many photographs of the Eiffel Tower as possible in as many different ways. And I haven't got this one. I want it. I want it for my collection. Thanks, 𝘚𝘢. 𝘚𝘢, who sadly couldn't accompany me to the train today. Here's Jean, who is a top contributor. Look, it says so. So here's, I haven't seen this, have I? I think this is new to me. That's a ball of fluff. There's another. Oh my God. You've got one of the most beautiful cats out there. It's incredible. And really close up. Animals are great because they're naturally photogenic and you can do all sorts of things with them, but, you know, quite simply from afar, further in and really close. This is a good example of going really close, which is not what people normally do. And what a strong photograph it is. I have a couple of comments here. I better say hello. Yeah, so that was Nazanin saying, how many mugs do you have? And I replied, I desperately need a Paris or metro mug or a train mug. How can I not have a train mug? Cool trains bring back memories of our old trains, really. Hi, 𝘚𝘢. Nice to have you here. Jean says, what's the difference between first and second class on the train? I think the seats are comfier. I think in second class, they're wooden slats, and in first class, they're cushioned. And apart from that, not much, I think. And there was a sign inside, one of the original signs, and it said, please don't smoke or spit, which I thought was quite funny. I mean, in those days, you could obviously smoke on trains. Could you spit on trains and need to be told not to? Interesting. Dorothy's here. Hello, Dorothy. Nice to have you here. And Jean says she can hear me. And Nazanin says you should go to Jardin de Bagatelle. Yeah, well, actually, it's on my list. I've been there, but I don't think they have peacocks, do they? I didn't think they had peacocks. What's that say? Beatrice says not the same price. Okay, so my Paris consultant, transport consultant, says that it costs more as well for comfy seats. Don't know if there's any other, you know, advantage apart from being separated somewhat from the hoi polloi. Okay, let's zoom through. Dorothy, 3 in 1. The reflection. I've lost the comments. Let's just enjoy these photographs. So you've got a very beautiful abstracty almost close up with lots of lovely texture. And then you can see what it is, because I didn't really know what it was, in a different way. And then you've got it in situ, where you can see, like paint pots and all sorts of stuff. I like that. 3 different aspects of the same thing. I'm noticing now that when I go back to the main page, it doesn't go back to the top again, which is a massive relief. What did she say? Reflection of the morning sunlight. We painted the fences yesterday. This is Angela from Greece. Yesterday with this something moving in, rain moving in. Now this has come out quite dark. This may be because the sky was very bright and she didn't bother to compensate, because you can make it brighter before you take the shot. Especially when you point to a big bright sky, it can really make it go dark. Having said that, there are still highlights on the bottom of the water drops. Can you see that? Funnily enough, why are the bottoms of the water drops bright and the tops of the water drops dark? I can hardly say that. That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I guess it's because the top of the water drop is being like a mini lens, but it inverses the image. So the top of the water drop is showing you a mini image, if you could see it, of the ground, and the bottom of the water drop is clear because it's showing you a mini image of the sky. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So that mean, moody, mystical shot from Angela, I wouldn't expect anything less. That really has almost gone abstract. I'm sort of seeing, it almost looks like a Dali body, with bits of legs and wobbly sort of melting breasts and buttocks and all sorts of things. And this head, looks like it needs to be propped up with one of his sort of fork things. That's pretty, when you take it away from reality and you don't know what it is anymore, suddenly your brain says, okay, we have some work to do here. I'm going to give you some suggestions as to what it might be. Oh my goodness. Nazanin is saying there are lots of peacocks in Bagatelle. Okay, then. I'm heading that way. Okay, wonderful. And there you can see what it is. This is beautifully, this is what I love, I'll tell you once more. I try to create images which are halfway between grim reality and a sort of fantasy dreamland. And Angela is very good at doing that as well. My pictures of the trains are rather realistic, actually, aren't they? Dorothy, I love this. 3 shots of shoes. This one. There's even a pair of feet in there. I've just spotted them. And right up close. This is something I don't do enough. Get down to the ground. Look how amazing that shot is. When you compare it to this one, look, there are shoes. Okay, shoes, fine, but not very exciting. I mean, it's a nice shot. You've got the light shining on them from behind. Shoes in backlit shoes. This is looking down on top, but this one makes all the difference. It actually is an interesting shot, but it's only a shoe because it's why is it interesting? It's because we never okay, here we go. She sells seashells by the seashore. We never see shoes from this angle. So all you have to do to make your shot interesting is take it from an unexpected angle, like a crazy angle, and bam, all of a sudden you've got a shot which is not very common. There were so many people visiting the train today. I was disappointed, or I'd have spent more time doing weird angled shots. But the biggest challenge was getting any shots of the train without stupid tourists in there, like me, obviously. But that's life. Jean, Smith Tower. I was impressed by this. Why? Because I didn't think you had buildings like this. I thought we were the only ones who had buildings like this, Jean. Sort of Cambridge and Oxford University. And here you're showing me some sort of crazy medieval tower type of thing. So, and you've got 3 different. I love this. It's in the distance. I mean, I don't need to tell you that, but you've got the lake, you've got the tower through the trees, beautifully framed. Then you've got it a bit closer with a little bit of a frame up in the top there as well. And on the left from the tree. And there it is in your face, showing you just how impressive it is. Good work, Jean. And I see I think you can impress your friends on your own page with that as well. This was me. So Beatrice did a really good metro triptych. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Now she's got, this is great. This is what you should do for this if you want to take it to the next level. Find an app which allows you to put them together the way you want to, because it just looks so cool. She's managed to get a red background around her 3 shots, and I think this is the app that does it. It gives you different layouts. So I can't remember the name. Bea, can you tell me the name of the app? Jean says, love the shoe shots by Dorothy. Yeah, that's so cool, because there's repetition as well. There's lots of shoes, lots of different shoes. You can imagine who I don't know who they belong to, you know, different members of the family, and then 3 different views of the shoes. So I agree, Jean. Yeah, so just tell us the name of the app. Actually, I might have it on here. I think she showed it to me the other day. And I think it might be called Chimera. Chimera. C-Y-M-E-R-A. C-Y-M-E-R-A. I think it might be that. And I know that Dorothy's got some good apps for putting photos together. So she's got so close up that you can't see all of the word. She's got all of this sign, beautiful old Art Nouveau sign, which it was towards the end of the Art Nouveau period. Moving into the next step would be Art Deco. And funnily enough, I took a shot of exactly this sort of thing. It still had the big light above, but I know it's getting dark here, but they changed the decoration around it from Art Nouveau to Art Deco, which is quite interesting. Let's see if I can find it. Bear with me. Oh my God, I took this as well. This is another of my absolute all-time favorite metro signs. Look at this. Can you see that? That is so beautiful, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is. It doesn't want to go sharp, but yeah, there it is. Absolutely gorgeous. 1 second. I need some light here. Having a nice time? Everyone okay? The app is Chimera. Yeah, I'd love to know the app. So there it is. The one she used is Chimera or Chimera. Camera. Maybe it's Chimera. Yeah, and you know, the result is superb. I love it because she chose the red around the shots to go with the metro. Oh yeah, I was going to try and show you the evolution of that. When Art Deco came in, they kept the general style. Here it is. So they kept the general style, but they made it turned it into Art Deco. I know this isn't the Paris show, but you know, me in Paris and photographs and stuff. There you go. You see. So you can see the writing is the same. No, it's not the same, is it? It's not the same. And you can see the Art Deco style as opposed more linear, more geometric, and less sort of flowery bits. There is a kind of a curl up there on the top of the sign, though. Yes, I love that. And then on the right, you've got the. Oh my God! I've just realised you've got this echo of the metro sign in a horizontal awning over a cafe. I'm getting more and more jealous the more I look at this. It's annoying. No, it's not. It's wonderful. And thanks, Beatrice. And you know what? The layout of this is the same format as the metro sign itself. You see long and horizontal and rectangular. Every little thing counts. She's also got the blob, the light, top left, top right, and in the middle. So very, very good. Very good. So this was my attempt. This wasn't so sophisticated. I didn't sort of put them together in any particular way, but this was me going really close, not so close, and pretty close. That's not the right order, actually. So the whole thing, including a bit of the metro itself, the whole sign, but really nothing else but, you know, really impressive, dramatic, in-your-face shot. to show the sign. And then we've sort of gone beyond the whole sign. You've got the letters, you see what it is, but now you can really see the leaves in detail. These are ginkgo leaves or something, a Chinese plant, which was very popular amongst the Art Nouveau crew around the turn of the century. And this is unique, this one. This is again a composition, lovely composition of a mug, a Breton mug, Brittany, and 3 mugs in one picture. All right, let's carry on. This is Kristen with some nature. And she has given us 3 beautiful views of the same flower or flowers. Colors you can drown in, absolutely drown in your eyes. What is drowning in black at the moment? What happened there? Okay, fine. See if I can get this last shot for you. What if I go the other way? Okay, it's not behaving. I'll try and come out. A 1, a 2, a 3. Doesn't want to do it. Anyway, yeah, you know, flowers can be very beautiful, but they can photographs of them, this is a personal feeling, can also be extremely boring. Sorry. This, for example, this shot, it's a lovely shot. She's got quite close to the one in the bottom. But as a photograph as a whole, it's difficult to see what the subject is because there's no one, you know, you need a point of interest in the photograph, which is clearly more important, more striking than the rest. It doesn't matter if you have repetition, that's fine. But here, for example, get in really close to this flower, like far closer, and still have the others in the background. Otherwise, you're not quite sure where to look. So, but that's okay because this is part of a triptych. And she's got in really close on one there, and she's got this one here. The only thing I might do is have tried to get really close in that bottom right photo on that flower. So it filled, let's say it filled the bottom left-hand corner. And then it was surrounded by lots of other little red, peachy, yellow spots. Beautiful lighting as well. Okay, Kristen again. Now this is it's like experimenting, isn't it? You know, you've got a subject. Let's try doing different things with it. Tourists through there. So you had one of them. Now you've got one from the front and one from the side, with a bit of detail from behind as well. And you've got the whole thing. So that's absolutely, you know, what I expected. 3 different ways of looking at the same thing. You can be close, a little bit further back, much further back, or you can take the same subject, you can change the angle, you can look up, you can look down, you can look from the side, look straight on. You could even, I can see that she has a book and she has her hand up. I'm imagining a really, that's a different one then. This one here, it's probably this one here on the left. I'm imagining really zooming in a lot on the one on the left, just to see the hand and her face, even cutting most of her face off. I mean, having the front of the face in. And the one reading a book, you could just have a shot. I know there's a fountain, you know, probably don't want to go paddling. But, you know, you could, with a statue, okay, we think it's a statue, I better take a picture of the statue. But no, the statue represents a human, and the human is doing something. So it's a bit like if you take portraits, take a picture of the subject's hands holding the book. There's something very, very beautiful and personal about hands, especially if they're hands that you know or that you've known, or that you've held, or that have held you. So, you know, you can find really highly personal, touching details, even if it's a statue, because it's supposed to represent a human. So great. I'm not, she did this thing. It's quite strange. It's almost, I don't know what's going on, but there's these kind of ghostly characters walking by in the background. Really quite strange. This is nice. I love this composition. Look, she's managed to find a way of putting this sort of diamond-shaped one in the middle with two other versions on the side of this little gnome guy. Just blow it up. Yeah, she says, shh, you never know what you might see in a forest. You never know what you might see in Laurel's garden, actually. There's a lot of strange things. Probably Laurel is one of the strangest. Great. Don't know where you find these things. Amazing. Beatrice, three views of... hang on, we got any comments here? What have we got? Cool metro signs. Ours are quite boring. Well, you know, move to Paris, Jean. What are you doing over there? Ridiculous. I did. So, you know, she's got a view on Invalides Dome from her window, her working window. You know, we can't all have this, but I'm not sure which one I like. I think I like this one the best on the right. What about you guys? Which you like best? Feel free to comment. This makes it a richer experience for everyone. If you're watching the replay, hello. Say hello and comment on anything you like. If you have any questions, ask questions as well. Remember to make sure I know which photograph you're asking about. Otherwise, I'll lose track because I'll have moved on. I like the one on the right best. I think it's because the top of it isn't chopped off, but it's much smaller. But you've got this dramatic window effect, and she's looking up. She's clearly looking up those windows. You can tell that by the way they taper off into the distance with this dome, this mysterious dome. And there's also a nice sort of color effect going on here. I don't know what's happened. Whereas, I don't know, something worries me about the top of it being chopped off. It shouldn't, but it does. That's just me. I wonder if she'd leant down slightly, she could have got the top of that dome. I wonder why she chopped that off. I love the window, actually. It's beautiful. Very atmospheric. Beautiful lighting in that middle one. Why you chop the top of the dome off? Bear. Okay, I've seen that one. From Jean. I know when I make comments on other people's, and some people have taken similar shots, they get nervous. They think, oh my God, I did that. He's gonna say that about mine now. So let's see if I'm going to say the same thing about Jean's 3 flower shots. Took 3 square pic. Oh, she got a bit upset with Facebook because they didn't show them all as 4 squares. But you know, you can't. if you imagine they're showing a square photograph and they're trying to fit 3 square photos into that square, something's got to give. Oh, I like the shadow. Just seen that. Charming. Is there anything else I can say about that? There's a bee. I've just spotted that. Nice little bee going about its thing on these pansies. You know what pansy means in French? I thought pansy, to be honest, pansy in British English, at least when I was a kid, it meant someone who's a bit of a wimp, a guy who's a bit of a wimp. But when I got to France, I realized they had these flowers. Of course, they have these flowers, and they call them pensée. And obviously English has turned it into pansy, but pensée means thought. They're thoughts. These flowers are thoughts fluttering gently in the breeze, which is quite nice, isn't it? Penny for your thoughts. Okay. Oh, it won't take too much time. Okay, here we go. Oh, maybe I've got to the end. How about that? How are we doing? Yeah, it was a slightly trickier. So, you know, to get, and all of you did very well. Well done, thank you. I think that's the end of those. So I'm impressed by how you all managed to tackle this topic in your own way. making each of the 3 photographs different, but hanging together. So that's wonderful. Jean is saying, I love the right window shot of Beatrice. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And of course, they go well together. Right, so how are we doing for time? Well, we've got a few more minutes. And if you have any questions, do let me know. And otherwise, I'll just blabber on about other stuff, such as my latest photographs. Just a quick heads up to the Today's the Day group, which is where you can, the idea is you say something, you say, today's the day I did, and some nice thing to mark the day so that you feel that you're leading good days. It can be very simple things, and it's not to impress anyone else, and it's not really to get any comments either. It's literally just to note, today's the day I did this, and I'm happy about that. I'm pleased with that. That's what that group is. I'm slowly developing it. I'm starting to write articles as well, because I've got positive articles, inspirational articles sometimes, on a website called todaystheday.rocks. So you can check those out. That's a lovely page. I do like this page, this one. I'm getting Paris Set Me Free going again. And I've started a masterclass. A couple of you have already decided to book on it. That was in the pre-launch phase. Now, if you're wondering, if you've booked on it and you're wondering when it's going to get going, well, it officially gets going in January. And it's going to be through 2024 with several new items of material every week for 3 masterclasses worth. So about 3 times 10 weeks, something like that. But from this week coming, I'm going to start warming up and I think I'm going to do videos. I'm going to do videos for everybody on this page about Paris, and I'm going to do specific videos for people who have booked on the course. So exclusive content for people who have booked on the masterclass who want to become true Paris connoisseurs. So that's an exciting thing. It's happening now, and you can book on it at launch price. Yeah, there you go. Price, pre-launch price. There it is. If you want to be incredibly knowledgeable about everything you can imagine about Paris except macarons and high fashion and bakeries and stuff, that's not really my thing. It's more about the hidden little corners and the history and the architecture, the curiosities, along with a few personal anecdotes and stuff. This is me going to be putting the last 30 years of my life plus the years coming are going to go into this, and it's going to be a huge undertaking. And I'm very excited about it, and it's about time. I needed 30 years to get ready to do this, and now it's happening. So I understand if you're not into Paris, that's fine. I'll carry on talking about photography. And I'll do that by looking at my Facebook page here. After my Eiffel Tower week, or chapter, I should say, which is 9 days, I decided, well, it kind of got decided for me to kind of go, well, have a look at this photograph. Can you see a recurrent theme between this photograph? Not this. Bear with me. This one. This one. Has anyone got it yet? This one. And that might be it. And this one. Well, I'm thinking it's red. This is in the top left. The chapter's not ready, so I'm just going to show you this. This is in the top left of the grid of 9. And this one is in the bottom right. And in this shot, it's kind of strange. I've grunged it up a bit. But can you guess what these people are looking at? These two, in any case. They're looking at this. And this is a designer, a famous Japanese designer who is 93 or 94 now. And she's famous for dots. So, you're walking through the street and you see something like this and you think, wow, you don't see that every day. It's advertising some, well, you can see up in the top there, it says YL, Yves Laurent. No, hang on. Louis Vuitton, LV, Louis Vuitton, which is part of Louis Vuitton 𝘠𝘢 𝗏𝑔𝗏𝗄. LVMH, 𝘠𝘢 Hennessy. I'll get there in a minute. One is for champagne and cognac and stuff. And the other part of the house, as they call it, is Louis Vuitton, which is famous for handbags and stuff. Anyway, you know, what an amazing photo op. So I saw this with Leo, and the challenge, it was quite a challenge. I've just got my normal phone. It's got the normal lens, and then it's got a zoom lens. The zoom, you know, forget it. You're not going to get it all in unless you walk about 0.5 kilometer away. But with the normal lens, I could just about get her all in. I do normally go for funky angles, but in this case, I wanted her to be straight up on the left-hand side, all of her in the photograph. And she's painting these dots on the front of the building. And the angle that I was at to get the front of the building and the dots she's painting in the shot, there's that lovely angle. There's that lovely angle going down from the top, third in on the top there, down through her body to the bottom there. And yeah, so that's the shot, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of funny. There's this guy in the bottom playing his flute as well. Something sort of slightly strange, almost fairy tale like about what's going on here. Apart from that, I didn't really play with it or, you know, sabify it too much, just because, you know, when you've got something which itself is both weird and very colorful, there's not really any point changing it too much, or you lose the power of what the people who created it intended it to be like, which is absolutely not what I did with the next one. I didn't leave this alone at all. I went crazy on it. I found this to be quite strange, sort of this weird. You've got these red colored things here, which are actually around the big statue thing protecting it. They've used the same color as the blobs she's painting. And there was this sort of mishmash of humanity running around doing their thing. A couple of people looking up in awe. It made me think like it was a bit like, I don't know if you've seen one of Spielberg's first, you know, major massive things, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And there's a moment in that movie when there's, I don't know, there's some big light or the spaceship lands or something. And you've just got these people and they're all looking up in awe. What was that tune? Is it ding, 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 something like that? And it reminds me of this. It's like the aliens are landing. They're looking up at the statue of the woman. But then there's this other guy. He's taking a photograph of the building. There's this person here also taking a photograph. There's this little girl on the right being dragged off. The red echoes the red blobs nicely. There's this triangle of red here. And then there's this strange girl or boy, I don't know. I'm guessing it's a girl, in the middle of this hubbub doing absolutely nothing, just standing there. Maybe she is one of the aliens. It's really, it's kind of funny. And then I've sabified it, you know, gone crazy with the grunginess and stuff. And there it is, another weird photograph from yours truly. These, by the way, are going to be around Paris soon, and they're also going to be going out to certain wonderful people, including people who guessed when I was promoting the pre-launch of my Paris masterclass. I said the person who guesses a sentence with 9 words would get one of these. But, you know, I thought a few people tried. So anyone who tried, I'm going to send one of these to you. So I need your address. If you tried guessing, one of these will be on its way to you. I call this project Amor Fati. I don't know how you say it. It's Latin. It means, what does it mean? That's right. It means love fate. Whatever happens, consider that it's for the best. So it's a Stoic philosophy, and I like it. This one here is me, well, I'm just walking past a building, really, and the red obviously caught my eye. And then I thought, what can I do with this? It's kind of weird. Maybe there should have been something in the bottom right here. I don't know, but there wasn't. There is the yellow, though. There's the yellow, which is echoed on these pipes. And then I thought, well, it is quite interesting because you've got this row of red coming towards you diagonally. You've got another row of red, but this time it's not cylinders, it's rectangles coming towards you in the top left. Then you've got this other row of red circles going down at this angle here. Now, obviously, they're only at this angle because of where I'm taking the photograph from. I could have taken it, and I've obviously tilted the camera as well. You can see that because the wall is vertical. So I completely disregard gravity or horizons or verticality. All I'm concerned with in this case is what looks good in the photograph. And I don't know if it does look good, but it's kind of curious. I like the kind of angle. There's a sort of, it's almost like a hat shape of the red going down. Although strangely enough, if you look at the red rectangles, they go up towards the top left-hand corner, but they also go down because of the effect of the perspective, which is echoed by the going down of the red circles. And I don't know, it's kind of a weird photograph, but there it is. We're bombarded by so many signs, aren't we, in life? The signs, they're out to get us. This I showed you earlier. It was one of my Paris Metro ones, and getting in really close and personal. I've even got another one, which is even closer. I wonder if I included it. No, I didn't include it here, but I included it. I think I included it in the smartphone group page. I don't know where that is now. Quite a few of you contributed quite a lot at the end. So yeah. So this could also be I mean, the way it's displayed by Facebook is kind of random. They're all square photographs. I kind of like the way that the two bottom ones poke out. If I were to analyze Facebook's random sort of the way they display them, I did try to display them so that that's what they ended up as, splaying out like this at the bottom and then the big one at the top. But this big one, I had another version which was even closer, and I don't know which you think is best, but here it is. So I don't know, for the 3, I went for the one where you can still see the corner of the sign. I felt this was maybe, it's pretty, I like it, but you had to have 3, so I kept it at that. If I could have had 4, I'd have included that one. What else have we got? Any other comments here? Cool, colorful statue photos. Okay, thanks. I can't remember what that's about now. So many geometric shapes with the red pipes. I really like the angle of the shot. Isn't this cool? There's someone in America listening to me, and I'm sat in this this little apartment in the suburbs of south of France. I'm in the south of Paris. That's really strange. Hello, America. And then another one is this. In my self-portrait series, every 10 shots, it's a self-portrait. I thought I need a red one if I'm going to make all of these photographs red. And I realized I had this one, which is kind of scary. Sorry to put that in your face so early in the day, and if you're in America. Yeah, the cup that got broken. You can see the Eiffel Tower on the edge of it there. It was a little touristy cup that someone gave me, and it broke. And there's I'll make that smaller. It's a bit in your face, isn't it? And there's this Japanese art come philosophy where when things break, don't throw them out, put them together again, and not only accept the cracks, but highlight them by making the glue where you glue it gold. I haven't done that. I've put it together. It's a mess. You can't drink out of it or anything, but it's in one piece. I put my spare change in there, and I haven't highlighted the cracks, but that's what you do in this Japanese philosophy. You highlight the cracks. In other words, you show that it's lived, which is nice. I like that philosophy. And so now we need to have a think about what the next theme is going to be. So what do you think it's going to be? What could we have? Any suggestions? Anyone who's still hanging around? I know that we're half an hour later than planned because I had a problem connecting. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm going to put a quiz up this time. I imposed the 3-on-1 theme, but I'd like us to have an idea, a quiz or a poll. So, do you have any suggestions for what the theme could be for next time? Let me know. Put something down in the chat now, and I'll note it down somewhere. And I don't have a pen, and I'll put that in the poll. So, ideas. What could we have? I do have a list, but I'd love to have some ideas from you of what the theme could be for the coming week. In terms of live shows, if you're interested, I will be doing a live show in the Paris group. Obviously, it's going to be talking about Paris. It may be talking about Paris through photographs, but it'll be curiosities of Paris, the history of Paris. I'm going to start really attacking that as I start to build my masterclass. And I'm thinking there will be 2 shows. One will be a general Paris chat for the open group. And then there will be another show, which may just be 10 or 20 minutes, haven't decided yet, where I start building the guts of and the structure of my Paris masterclass. And that will only be for people who are on the Paris masterclass. But there will be this one that is open to everyone, me chatting about Paris and anything that comes to my mind. So do we have any ideas? If not, I'll just say goodbye and I'll think of something myself. Any ideas for what next week's theme could be? And we'll do a poll. I can wait. So anyway, how are you doing, you guys? Have you? How did you find the 3-in-1 thing? Did you find it difficult? Was it easy? Did you find it challenging to take 3 different shots of the same subject, or was it easy? Came to you naturally? You thought, okay, I'll go really close, step back a bit, and then far away, or did you really try to do something different? Let me know. So signs. Jean says signs. Okay, what sort of signs, Jean? Like street signs? I had an idea, and it was random words you see as you're walking around. It could be a graffiti word or a sign word or a name on the wall. So is that what you're thinking? Signs. Signs could be amazing, actually. Sort of random signs. Like I said, on the metro of the that I just took today. Here are a few more shots actually that I put this into my metro adventure in the Today group as well, but with different photographs. And there's a wonderful sign. Okay, this is me. That's not so wonderful. There's a wonderful sign, which is this. It says "Défense de fumer et de cracher," and that means you're not allowed to smoke or spit, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm just wondering, you know, was it so official? Was spitting such a thing, like spitting in trains, such a thing that they had to put an official sign saying "Don't spit"? Because if they put a sign saying "Don't spit," that means that a lot of people spat in trains. Can you imagine? You're in a train, just going to work, and someone spits on your foot or something. I don't know. Anyway, another interesting sort of factoid is that these bulbs, they have what look like the original bulbs. You can see they're kind of strange. The whole carriage was full of them, and apparently the Parisians had this sort of sneaky habit of, well, can you guess? Stealing the bulbs. So they made the bulbs a different size to any other bulbs. I don't mean the size of the bulb itself, I mean the screw-in bit. So that you could steal them, but you can't use them, which is kind of cool. I've got a comment from, a suggestion from Dorothy, the wind. Photographs of the wind. Thank you for that. I need to write these down, hang on. Okay, Dorothy, how would you take a photograph of the wind, Dorothy? So, Dorothy, wind, and the element. The element of the wind. Okay, element. What else have we got? We've got Jean, signs. Okay, what else have we got? We're going to stop in a second. So just finishing off here, I found this week challenging since I normally don't take photos from 3 very different perspectives. Excellent. Well, I really hope that as I was looking at everybody's sets of 3, I could feel people being challenged and trying to work out how they could take another interesting shot of the same thing, which wasn't the same sort of shot. I could feel it. So I really hope that this was a useful thing. I think it was Beatrice. Was it Beatrice who chose this? I'm not sure. Me and Beatrice, or I don't know. Anyway, yeah, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So we've got the elements. You mean water? Oh, we've got water as well from Dorothy. Water, wind, signs. Well, that's 3. So that's pretty good. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. And I might add a 4th one, or I might not. So I'll just finish showing you these actually. There you can see the whole train. These haven't been modified, these photographs. They're just pretty raw. And you've got the modern one coming towards it. Look how wonderful it is. And the thing that pulled it was a real sort of bucket of rust, basically, pulling the train. The train didn't move, unfortunately. It was a stationary thing. I mean, it moved to get there, but I didn't see them. Just so wonderful. Waited many, many years for that. This is the front of the train. Look at that detail. There's someone visiting the carriage. That's kind of spooky, actually. It's like all nuts and bolts and rugged. Look, can you see that? It's a whistle. There's a whistle on the front of the train. It's so cool, and it must be being supplied by air there. See, there's some sort of air thing. So the guy could pull it. Pew, pew. There's a kind of mechanical windscreen wiper on the left that you can't actually see. And it's like this wooden board with the destination on. Nothing electronic or anything. Just a wooden board. You sort of flip it over. And I think I've got one more here. Yeah, that's the crazily rammed together words where you've got the lines that they cross. You've got the names of the stations. They're diagonal so that you can kind of read them without breaking your neck. Then you've got the lines that cross this line. You've got the destination of those lines on the bottom. You've got the other destination on the top. It's just a complete mess. And yet it's very nice to look at, actually. And then there's that guy. All right, we are done. So it was an hour, even though. Oh, Beatrice, you're still here. Beatrice says lamp. Okay, yeah, lamps have been threatening to be the theme for a while, and lighting things. And then we've got Dorothy saying the wind through something else. Yeah, something being moved by the wind. Okay, the wind through something else. I'm not sure how else you would show the wind, actually. Yeah. All right, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you, and I'm very sorry I was late, but luckily it wasn't my fault. It was my stupid computer's fault. So, so sorry that your son couldn't join you today on your train display. I'm a bit sad, actually, but I haven't heard back from him yet. Maybe he's sulking, or maybe he had such a good time. I don't know, rushing down water chutes or something. He went to this sort of outside water thing, so he probably had a great time. Thank you again, Sab, says Jean. My pleasure. Lovely to see you all, and happy snapping on the new theme. I'll put the poll up in a few minutes. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening for us here in Europe. And if you're interested in the Paris thing, get involved in that as well. I'm very excited about that. And talk to you again very soon, everybody. Bye for now. Happy snapping. Thanks for being part of my creative universe and letting me be part of yours. Bye for now.